Welcome to the story of my ancestors. In this series of videos, I'll explore both the Radcliffe and Rowley sides of my family tree. Today, I'll give an overview of the 4 generations that precede my siblings and I. In future videos, I'll profile some of those specific individuals, our parents and grandparents and great-grandparents, and try to pull out some interesting stories from the more distant past. A couple years ago, I had the opportunity for extended visits with my mother after my retirement and shortly before her passing in 2018. It was such a special experience to go through boxes and boxes of old photos and memorabilia, mementos, other things, both from the Rowley side, and she'd ended up also with a number of items and photos from the Radcliffe side. It was very special to hear some of the background of many of the photos. Generations before her had done a great job of labeling the back of them, and we were able to discuss a number of individuals and events and things that happened, particularly on the Rowley side. But she also shared the best she could from second and third-hand information about our Radcliffe ancestors. So I look forward to sharing more with you what I learned there, but also after that, I began to dig more extensively into Ancestry.com and create profiles there of many of the generations that preceded. I didn't uncover any scandals or, the criminals in the past or some of those things that you see on some of the TV ancestry shows. But I did find out some interesting characters and some maybe eyebrow-raising events, and certainly some stories of tragedy and difficulties that our ancestors overcame. Genealogy is an interesting thing. It sometimes can be fascinating, but other times it can be a mundane list of names and facts. Many of us who've tried to read the Bible from cover to cover have had that experience of going through the genealogies that are listed. In the New Testament, it's a list of 77 names that precede Jesus. And, as we go through that list, sometimes we can either feel like we're going to quit or maybe skip the list and get on to the good stuff. But over more recent years, I've come to appreciate the richness that's there and the continuity of story that God's people had in going through those genealogies. In our family tree, we're certainly not going to go back 77 generations, but we will go back a number of them. And in both sides of the family, we can trace our ancestry back to the Mayflower, both from the Radcliffes and the Rowleys. They've got ancestors that came over on the Mayflower. And we can also trace back to their immigration from Ireland and Scotland and England and Germany. And so we can look at all of those roots. So this journey has given me a sense of connection to the past and to family, and I look forward to sharing it with you. So to start, here's my genealogy, or at least 5 generations of it. I am Frank Rowley Radcliffe, important to get that whole name in there, the son of Donald Frank Radcliffe and Mabel Elizabeth Rowley. On my father's side, Donald was the son of Frank Fred Radcliffe and Jessie McDonald. Now, Frank was the son of Daniel Cressler Radcliffe and Lizzie Manna Diston. Jessie was the daughter of James McDonald and Ida Marie Green. Daniel Kay was the son of David Radcliffe and Sarah J. Cressler. Lizzie was the daughter of Henry Stimson Diston and Margaret A. Whitney. James McDonald was the son of John McDonald and Charlotte Maria Ross. Ida Marie was the daughter of Daniel Ira Green and Josephine Maria Wells. Now on my mother's side, Mabel Elizabeth, known as Betty, was the daughter of Henry Frank Rowley and Mabel Anna Hickox. Henry, known as Harry, was the son of Frank Hills Rowley and Catherine Clark. Mabel Anna was the daughter of Arthur Harbison Hickox and Annie Eliza Wahlberg. Now, Frank Hills was the son of John Samuel Rowley and Charlotte J. Hills. Catherine was the daughter of James Clark and Mary Ann Halliley. By the way, seeing all those Franks in the family tree, you know that I was destined to have that name as well and couldn't get around it. So in the last generation here, Arthur was the son of Charles G. Hickox and Sarah G. Kenny. Annie was the daughter of Dietrich Wahlberg and Margareta Schneinvent. There you have the 5 generations from me to my second great-grandparents. In the next video, I'll profile my maternal grandmother, Mabel Anna Hickox Rowley. She's the one grandparent that none of my siblings nor I ever met. And while we were growing up, my mother said little about her, and that's why discovering her photos and diaries and talking through them with my mom was such a precious time. Until next time, may you always hold precious memories of family close to your heart.